Do you ever have an experience in your life that at the time it's really detrimental and you really hate it, but then in hindsight it's super hilarious? I used to go to a Christian school. It was okay at the time because I had never been exposed to hardcore sinning and had no idea how fun it was. Specifically, girls. If you've never been to Christian school, I'll break down the sex education system. It basically consists of nothing. Since day one, I was just told that that was a no-no. They had a rule in the actual rule book that girls couldn't touch boys for over 3 seconds. But that was fine for me because it just didn't really make a difference in my life because I only hung out with dudes. For this story, specifically 2 dudes. Let's call them Tony and Bruno. Because those sound like really cool names and I want you guys to think I have cool friends. I don't have cool friends, my friends are nerds. After lunch every day, we'd have gym class. In hindsight, that was really poor planning. This story isn't a vomit story, but I kind of wish it was now. Now, Tony, Bruno, and I would always try to get to gym really early so we could play basketball for a few minutes before we actually had to do gym stuff. Because that's always the most fun thing to do in any gym is basketball. And arson that one time. So the way it was set up is once you left the lunchroom, you turned right, went down a hallway, there was a door there. Once you got out that door, you were outside because the gym was in a whole separate building. Now we'd have to go through the front of the gym, through the gymnasium, and into the locker room doors to get to the locker rooms. Bruno was really fast, and he would always beat us there by like a mile. So eventually me and Tony just started to wait outside of the actual building. Let me explain that. The locker rooms were kind of in the back of the gym, and each locker room had an emergency exit for like fires in case somebody commits arson. Once you left the lunchroom, which we did every day, the emergency exits to the locker rooms were right there, like right out in front of you. But you couldn't enter them. They didn't have handles. You could only exit them. They were one way. So me and Tony started getting in the habit of letting Bruno run in, go to the locker rooms, and open up the exit door for us so we could like sneak in the back. Now, quick note, the boys' locker room and the girls' locker room were right next to each other. And the boys' locker room, in legend, had a hole in it that could see to the girls' locker room. I don't think this hole ever got repaired during my entire stay at that school. And that kind of ties into our story. One day, Tony was sick, so I went to the back of the gymnasium alone. Bruno would always get there really fast, so I just knocked until he let me in. And we were always the first 2 in there, so this particular time I knocked, no answer. And then I started hearing, like, whispering in there. So I kept knocking, like, come on, man, let me in. And then I heard the voice of a girl saying, "Who is it?" Now I know exactly who the girl was. Let's call her Cynthia. Cynthia kind of sounds like the mean coworker that nobody ever wants to be around. Like, hey guys, let's get out of the break room. Cynthia's here. I had realized that I was knocking on the wrong door, and I was knocking vigorously on the girls' locker room door. You know who does stuff like that? Predators. Once I heard her, I was like, they're gonna open the door and see it's me. I gotta get out of here. The only way to avoid the eye line of them once they opened the door was to run 50 feet to the left because there was a concrete wall that I could go around. Faster than I've ever ran in my entire life. I wasn't known for my speed, but during this thing I was like, I should be on the track team. I think that was adrenaline and not real speed because about 6 seconds later, I heard the door open and heard another girl say, "Is that Carson?" And then I was thinking, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be on the track team. I get around this concrete wall, I sit down, and I just start weeping. So I'm crying outside of this gymnasium for like 10 minutes. After about 10 minutes, our gym class instructor, Mr. Keith, came out. And he was all, "Carson, what's wrong? What's going on?" And I was really worried that my social life had just gone down the toilet. Because all those girls obviously hate me now. I explained the whole situation to Mr. Keith, and he said stuff like, "Calm down, it's gonna be alright. They think you played a prank on them." This made a little bit of sense, and that's probably what they actually thought. He said, "Look, come inside when you want to, we're gonna be playing like dodgeball or something." I stopped crying and I started thinking maybe I overreacted. But there was also that part of my mind that thought, you know what, I could just never go to gym class again. I'll take the L for that class and just fail. I'm doing pretty well in my other stuff. But then I realized there's 15 kids in my grade because this is a private school. I'll see them tomorrow. I don't know if any of those girls ever looked at me the same the next day. And ever since then I've left the Christian school, and now I've learned from lots of life experience that I know that women hate me. Hi guys, if you like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me. I think I got 40 subscribers now, which is crazy. That's almost famous. And so I'm ending this video with a letter from a fan. Dear Carson, LOL, JK, you ain't famous, son. Love, Mom.